Just days earlier, she made waves on her podcast with comments that hinted at wanting a bigger contract and possibly a new city to call home. Those remarks raised eyebrows across the league, and when the Adidas ad dropped soon after, fans began connecting dots. Was Sophie subtly signaling her independence from the Fever? Or was Adidas smartly capitalizing on her newfound popularity to drive engagement? Either way, the result was the same. Sophie Cunningham became the talk of the league. Overnight, she transitioned from being known as a scrappy player with attitude to a legitimate superstar commanding cultural attention. Her face was everywhere, her name trending across platforms. Adidas saw what many had overlooked. Sophie wasn't just a player. She was a brand, and that brand, as it turns out, was worth a lot more than anyone imagined. The Electric Pink campaign wasn't an accident. It was strategic brilliance. Adidas had timed it perfectly, releasing the ad right after her Good Morning America appearance, ensuring maximum momentum. For Sophie, it was validation, a reward for years of grinding, being underestimated, and refusing to blend in. For Adidas, it was the chance to market the perfect storm: confidence, charisma, and controversy. They didn't just put her in an ad, they built an ad around her. And by doing so, they turned her into a symbol of rebellion in a league that often promotes unity over individuality. Sophie was no longer a role player. She was a movement, but back in Indiana, not everyone was celebrating. The Fever's front office reportedly wasn't thrilled with how quickly Sophie's image was expanding beyond the team's control. In a franchise still trying to rebuild its reputation, having one player dominate headlines, for reasons that weren't entirely about basketball, stirred internal tension. Behind closed doors, executives faced a dilemma. Sophie's rise had undeniably boosted the team's visibility, but it also raised uncomfortable financial questions. With Caitlin Clark's inevitable max deal looming and Aaliyah Boston's future salary growth to consider, could the Fever really afford to keep Sophie at the price her fame now demanded? Sophie, for her part, wasn't backing down. Her podcast comments about wanting a bigger contract so I can finally buy a house and feel cozy sounded innocent enough until she mentioned cities like New York and Minneapolis as possibilities. That casual remark sent the Fever fanbase into panic mode. Was she teasing a move? Was this a calculated negotiation tactic? Fans flooded comment sections pleading for her to stay, while others accused her of using the media to pressure management. But in reality, Sophie was simply doing what the modern athlete does best, leveraging attention into power. She knew her worth, and for the first time, the Fever had no choice but to acknowledge it. It's not just about money, it's about recognition. Sophie isn't just contributing points on the court. She's adding millions of impressions, eyes, and engagement to the franchise. Her Arby's deal, her viral TikToks, and now her Adidas partnership have made her a walking marketing engine. Every time she posts, she sells the game. Every time she speaks, headlines follow. And that's something Indiana can't ignore, no matter how complicated the finances get. The longer the team stays silent, the more the public turns the narrative into a demand. Pay Sophie what she's worth, or lose her to a city ready to treat her like the star she's become. Inside the locker room, however, things have started to shift. What was once playful camaraderie has grown tense. Teammates who once admired Sophie's hustle are now quietly measuring the spotlight she commands. The Adidas commercial became the breaking point for some, a visual reminder that she's no longer just one of the girls. She's a brand, and in a sport built on teamwork, individual stardom can sometimes look like rebellion. The Fever's coaches are now walking a fine line. They need Sophie's star power to attract fans, but they also need unity to win games. In a world where every quote, every post, every smirk gets dissected online, that balance is fragile. Then there's Caitlin Clark, the franchise's golden ticket and the league's marketing juggernaut. Her clean-cut image contrasts perfectly with Sophie's bold, unapologetic personality. Together, they're a marketer's dream. Fire and ice, discipline and chaos. But that duality also comes with risks. The more both stars rise, the harder it becomes for the Fever to control the narrative. Some insiders believe Sophie's recent moves are her way of ensuring she doesn't get lost in Caitlin's shadow, a preemptive strike in the battle for attention. And honestly, who could blame her? In a league that's long ignored individuality, Sophie has forced everyone to look her way. Adidas understood what they were doing. They weren't just selling shoes, they were selling an attitude. Electric pink became more than a color. It became a symbol of individuality in a sport still learning how to embrace it. Sophie embodied that perfectly. She's the kind of player who doesn't wait for permission, who doesn't fit the mold of what's expected. And that's exactly why she resonates. For years, the WNBA has struggled to find crossover stars who can command mainstream attention. Now, in one viral moment, Sophie proved that controversy sells and authenticity sells even more. But all this comes with a price. With every viral moment, she gains fans and critics. With every sponsorship, she gains leverage and pressure. The Fever now find themselves at a crossroads. If they don't lock her in with a deal that matches her newfound influence, someone else will. And that could reshape not just the Fever, but the WNBA itself. Sophie Cunningham's rise signals a shift in power, one where players, not teams, drive the narrative. She's not waiting for recognition anymore. She's building it, shaping it, and owning it. For the WNBA, this is uncharted territory. A player who can trend without scoring 50 points, who can command brand deals off personality alone, and who can make a sneaker ad feel like a cultural event. That's rare. Sophie's story is no longer just about basketball. It's about evolution. She's showing that in this new era of women's sports, charisma can be just as valuable as talent, and individuality can be the most powerful form of marketing. So, as the season moves forward, one question lingers over Indiana and the league itself. Can they keep up with Sophie Cunningham? Because she's already moving ahead. Electric pink sneakers, unapologetic attitude, and all. Now it's your turn. What do you think of Sophie Cunningham's rise? Is she changing the game for good or stirring up too much controversy? Should the Fever pay her what she's worth? Or has fame gone too far? Let's talk about it in the comments below. And if you love stories that dig into the drama, power, and personality behind the game, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more.